Hi everyone, so my name is Nancy. I'm back. Sorry I've been gone. I have just been busy with life. I am a full-time mom, stay-at-home mom, and I'm also a full-time nursing student and a wife. So I have a lot going on and I've been busy. And so I just want to talk about today how I traveled with a 10-month-old back in April. My son was 10 months, and I just want to share my tips and what I packed that helped me have a smooth airplane ride. My baby now is 19 months, almost a year and a half. So when he was 10 months, I had to travel to California for a family event. He was 10 months and the flight was 4 hours. A couple tips that I would recommend: if you can, try to schedule your flight for nighttime. My flight was at 8 o'clock at night, and so we arrived at LA around 11-ish, almost 12 at midnight. I decided to do that because my baby's on a sleep schedule, and his bedtime is normally 7:30, so I figured he would probably fall asleep in the airplane, which that happened, which was awesome because he rested, I rested a little bit because it was kind of hard, but it worked out great. So I would recommend that. Also, if you can, I would recommend traveling with someone so they can help you. My sister, she flied with us, so that helped a lot because she could, help with him, carry him, or if I needed anything, she can get it for me. And then also, another tip is I carried a baby carrier, those black baby carriers. Well, they have different colors, but yeah, that helped a lot. Instead of carrying a stroller that's heavy and big and bulky, I just carried a baby carrier. He was 10 months, so he fit in it perfect. And then, so I had him basically there full time. When I carried my passport, boarding pass, or if I needed to buy anything, things like that, my hands were free. So that was another thing I would recommend. Okay, so my baby was 10 months. He was already walking a little, so he could get around. So I would definitely recommend before you board is to walk around the airport, have him look at things, and that would make him a little more tired so that when he gets on flight, hopefully he gets sleepy and winds down and goes to sleep, which that happened with my baby. He was very calm, and I fed him his bottle, and after that he basically went to sleep. So I basically carried him on my chest and he fell asleep. So that worked out perfect. So yeah, recommend them, walking around if they can, or just entertain them before the flight, and that would help you in the airplane hopefully settle them down. And now I'm going to go on to what I carried on my backpack. So, all right, so I personally prefer a backpack to put my baby stuff in. So, I carried this, or my sister did, but more my sister carried it around because I was carrying my baby Adriel, so it wouldn't be too much. So basically, I'm gonna go over what I packed that helped me or help him be entertained. So at that time I was still feeding him powdered milk with water, so I always fed his milk warm. So I carried this thermos in here, and basically before I went to the airport, I warmed some water and put it in here. And then when you go through checking, that you just tell them that you have an infant and you're carrying warm water, and they'll just check it, make sure it's nothing illegal, and they test it, and that's all. And I also carried this little container. I don't have it anymore because he doesn't drink any powdered milk anymore. This little container has 3 little dividers, and then I just put my powder in there, milk powder, and they also check out that, make sure there's nothing illegal. And basically that was that. And then I carried his bottle, and so when it was time to feed him, I just basically made the milk and then gave it to him. So basically, I asked his pediatrician, and the pediatrician recommended that I feed him takeoff and also landing, so it wouldn't make his ears uncomfortable. So that's what I did. So I fed him then. And then I also carried a few snacks like yogurt, little puffs that they can chew on to keep them in case they're hungry, or if you want to give them some snacks. I carried a few of those. And also I recommend books or toys, whatever they're into at that time, that keep them entertained. So at that time, my baby his favorite little toy was this that he could play around with. So one of these. And then I also carried his favorite book at the time, which was these animals, the touchy ones, the feely ones. I don't know if you can tell. He really liked this one, so I've carried this one that we could go over. This would really help. And then I also, of course, diapers, wipes. I carried that. I dressed him up in a onesie because I felt like that was going to be easier to change, and also, if it was a two-piece, I felt like it would have been the shirt would go up or things like that. So I didn't want him to be too cold or too warm. So a plain onesie is what I dressed him in, and then I packed an extra clothes in case anything happened. So I recommend that also. And then I carried one of these packets to clean with because airplanes are kind of nasty. So basically, when I sat in the airplane, my seat, I cleaned everything around because I knew he was going to touch everything. So clean this. And then I carried these little boogie wipes because you never knew, runny nose or anything. This helped. And then that was basically it, and also just a bottle of water. And that's basically everything I carried. And I didn't carry an extra wallet because I felt like it was going to be too much, or extra purse. I just basically carried my boarding pass, passport, and my ID in the little wallet. I'm sorry, I did carry a little wallet. It wasn't big, not a purse. And I put it in one of the pockets because I knew I didn't want too much. And that was basically. Forgot to mention, I did have a blanket, so in case it was cold on the airplane, I would cover him up with a blanket, a little blanket, not too thick. And then, so basically, when we got on the plane, got everything ready, got seated, and then before takeoff, I prepared his bottle so I can give him when we took off, and he drank it very well. Nothing happened. And then after that, he just played a little bit around while we were riding, and then he just fell asleep. So then I just sat him, laid him on my chest, covered him up with the blanket because it was a little cold in there. And since the lights were dim because it was a nighttime flight, that helped a lot. And luckily, we didn't have much passengers in there, so it felt really calm, not much noise. So basically, he fell asleep throughout the whole flight, and when we landed at California, he woke up and he was fine, and then got home and he fell back to sleep. Luckily, I don't have a big, he's not such a whiny baby, so I think that helped a little bit. But that was that, and on the way back, the same thing. We actually picked an early flight, so then, fed him in the morning, fed him a little food, and then before we took off, fed him the bottle, and then same thing, he played a little, and then kept him entertained, and he fell asleep for a little bit, and then woke up. And before we landed, fed him up before we landed back to Nashville, and so we just kept him entertained, and he was fine. And I'll show a few pictures and videos of him in the airplane. But thanks for watching. Hopefully I'll post some more videos. And let me know if you have any interest in any specific things. As I said, my son is now 19 months, so a lot has changed. I've just been busy with life. But I hope to start my new channel and, get more videos up. So thanks for watching, and see you soon. Bye.